Hey there, Happy New Year. I don't know if I'm going to do another video before the new year, so I wanted to wish you all a happy and healthy new year. I just wanted to come on to do this video, still talking about the charitable gifting of real estate. My next video is going to be a more general topic, but I wanted to talk about this from the perspective of the nonprofits. So if you work for a nonprofit, if you're the development director, the executive director of a nonprofit, or if you know someone who is involved with the nonprofit that you really care about, this is the video for you. So, what can we say? The bake sales, the galas, the dinner dances, the Chinese auctions, the card parties, they've been dead for most of this year. And even when they come back, and I personally truly believe that they will come back, probably sooner rather than later, I don't think it's ever going to quite be the same. And to be honest, I happen to find fundraising events a lot of fun as a participant. And I plan on going to card parties because I enjoy them and I like outdoor events and dinner dances and things like that. I find them all quite nice, and particularly at the more formal affairs, you usually get some really good networking opportunities. So I'll keep going as a participant. But I have to tell you, I will never organize one of those events ever again. You know, it takes so much preparation and so much work before the event. And in many cases, so much work during the event to make it happen, all to raise, whatever it is that you actually raise. For example, quick story. So I was on the board of directors of my church. In the Episcopal Church, we call it the vestry. And my position was community outreach. So we used to have, under someone else's auspices, we used to have this outdoor flea market in the fall. And it would raise some money, and it was kind of nice, but I always felt that it could be done a little bit differently, maybe a little bit better. So that person who ran it had left and was no longer doing it, so I decided to step up, and I said I wanted to do the event. Well, they were very reluctant because it didn't bring in all that much money considering how much work was involved, and everybody had to participate in folding chairs, picking up chairs, and all that kind of stuff. But I convinced them that I could get it done. So I spent months getting the vendors together, getting sponsorships, getting everything organized, and I was able to raise enough money with sponsorships that I hired someone to do the heavy lifting so people from the parish could come and just enjoy themselves and we didn't have to do too much. And it was a real success. We raised over $2,000 at the event, and that was the most that we had ever raised at one of those outdoor things. So it was really, really great. That was last year. But now that I know about charitable real estate, I think to myself, my God, all that time and energy that I spent into putting this together and making it happen for $2,000 when all I needed was one donation of a piece of property, and I could have brought a check for $200,000 by just doing my job. So, it's a real big difference. And since right now fundraising isn't happening and can't happen in most cases, and just about every nonprofit I know of is really suffering. And there was an article in the New York Times on July 26th about some of these major nonprofits that are almost ready to go under because they're just not getting the funding, because they're not getting to do the fundraising that they usually do. Charitable gifting of real estate allows you to get funded without fundraising. And the best part from the nonprofit's point of view is you don't have to be at all involved. You don't take title to the property. You don't get involved in the sale. You don't have to put any money out, anything like that. The only thing that we would ask you to do is to let your let your donors know, let people that call you and that come to you know that you can now accept charitable gifts of real estate. And when you get someone who says, yes, I have a property, maybe you would like it, all you have to do is just say to the potential donor, thank you so much for your generous donation. Let me get you in touch with my real estate team. And then you get the person on the phone with me. I'll get the information from them, pass it along to our partner organization that makes these transactions happen. And if the property is acceptable to them, they will take title, they will hire me to sell the property, and at the end of the day, you get a big fat check. And you don't even have to know where the property is or who the donor is. All you know is that you're getting a check at the end of the day. And it really does work for everyone. 70%, I think, is the number of people who donate properties do it because they really love the organizations that they want to support. The other 30%, however, they just want the tax write-offs. They don't really necessarily have a nonprofit that they really care about, but they do want the write-offs. So, for example, I think it was in Colorado a few months ago, there was a property owner, part of that 30%, who had a property that was donated, and there was $300,000 at the end of the day. And didn't have any organization that he really cared about, but the realtor did. So 2 churches that the realtor knew each got a check for $100,000, and a women's shelter got the 3rd check for $100,000. So 3 different nonprofits each got a check for $100,000. None of them knew the donor. The donor didn't know any of them. All he knew was he was getting a write-off. So it's really a win-win-win. So if you belong to a nonprofit, if you know someone who does, if there's a nonprofit that you really care about, a church, any type of a nonprofit organization, please, by all means, share this video with them and get them on the phone with me, and I can talk to them more about this. And if they have specific questions, we can get on the phone with the person at the organization that does this every day and makes this happen. 718-207-3792, Michael DeShalvi, eXp Realty. Take care.